In this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board podcast, it is Rookie Watch Volume 4. Me and my brother James are going to talk about Ryan Dunn. He done it again. Another stellar performance from the rookie sharpshooter from Virginia. We're also going to cover Jaylen Wells, who got the start, and Kyle Filipowski making an impact. Stay tuned. Big shout out to each and every person that has made the Locked On NBA Big Board podcast your first listen of the day. I'm your host, Rafael Barlowe, along with my brother James Barlowe. And I'm enjoying talking about these rookies. But college basketball is coming up on Monday, so we'll be able to talk about the rookies, at least try to do it every day, while also covering the prospects in college basketball. Before I get started in this episode, I want to let you know that it is brought to you by FanDuel. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. If you are a new customer, you can place a $5 bet and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets. All you have to do is win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. And I also wanted to tell you about the new Locked On newsletter. Introducing the Locked On newsletter, which will cover your favorite team. It is the one stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. So sign up for free right now at lockedondaily.com. That's lockedondaily.com. You can start your day with your all new free Locked On newsletter. So whichever is your team, Lakers, Bulls, Knicks, Nets, Jazz, Wizards, check it out. It's at lockedondaily.com. All right. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe, like, share, comment, click the bell so you can be notified every time we drop an episode, because we're coming at you 5 days a week. But make sure you click the bell so you can be notified every time we drop. All right, James.
What up?
Rookie Watch Volume 4. In a heavy slate of games last night, but let's start off on the West Coast. Let's start off with the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Clippers. Ryan Dunn got the start. I think it's his second start. Dunn was impressive. I don't even know what to say right now about Ryan Dunn. I've never in my life seen a non-shooter transform into a sniper in a short amount of time. I mean, Ryan Dunn was... I'm just running out of words to say. I mean, we talked about it in the preseason.
We talk about it every night he plays.
23% shooter from three. This guy was like a 50% shooter from the foul line in college, was airballing free throws.
Did you see the video that started circulating back around on Twitter?
Yeah, saw that. I remember you saying that you didn't think that he could feel his fingertips. I thought that they're just going to have to play him as like a role man, like this athletic five, because I thought he was going to be an absolute zero on offense if he wasn't dunking. He has more threes than dunks.
By far.
I'm kind of speechless. I don't even know how to explain the fact that not only is he like knocking down threes, it's not, as Leaf Tulane would call it, the dare shooter. I mean, teams are still like leaving him open. When I went on Synergy to watch his film, they list him as a like spot up shooting wing, which is crazy. And overall this year, he's shooting 51% from the floor and 44% from three on 5 attempts per game.
He's making a bunch of threes. I want to say this, 2 things. He made a floater last night.
Yep, I saw that.
That is the ultimate sign that you can feel your fingertips when you can make a floater. So that was one thing that really stood out to me. Obviously, he's making threes now. The second thing that stands out to me is he's like taunting fans after he's making threes.
Are you talking about the one in the corner?
Yeah, he
corner
did it twice.
Yeah.
He's not like, I mean, you don't really play 2K, but he's hitting the emote button. Like, his confidence, this needs to be a brain study. Because you can't tell me this same dude that I saw, I think they played Furman. Was it Furman last year in the tournament? Whoever they played in the tournament, he was bad. Everybody was bad, not just him. You can't tell me that that's the same guy that I'm seeing right here, shushing the crowd. You know, he might have added a little shimmy. I don't know what's going on with him, but I'm at the point now where, you bring up that I definitely did say I don't know if he could feel his fingertips. He was hooping in gloves. I don't even feel bad for saying that anymore because he was a non-shooter.
He was 1 for 13 from 3 in Summer League. Summer League was not that long ago.
I don't feel bad. Like, you take victory laps or whatever the opposite is of a victory lap. I don't feel bad for being wrong about Ryan Dunn because I don't think anybody saw him shooting this well, this quickly, even in July, Rob. This is crazy.
Yeah, all right. Here's a question for you. I thought about this last night. If Ryan Dunn shot 35% from 3 on a solid volume of attempts, would he have been the number 1 pick in this draft?
I wouldn't have taken him number 1 because even though, yes, the great defense and 35%, I think he would be a top 10 pick for sure. Maybe top 5 pick. My mindset, and even, you can sit here and say, well, they took Ricochet. He shot the ball and this, that. But my mindset is still, even in a draft that had a lot of question marks, my mindset is long-term, can this guy be an all-star? I don't know if Dunn can do that just because of how he's being used as just a spot-up guy and a defender. If he showed me some more, again, that's obviously not what they need. They have plenty of guys doing that in Phoenix, putting the ball in the ground. But if he was coming out of school and you told me he's a 35% three-point shooter with his defense, I probably wouldn't have let him go on past Detroit at 5.
Well, like you said, Ricochet went number 1.
Yeah.
I think.
But again, I don't think I wouldn't have taken Ricochet number 1.
Yeah. Well, who would you have taken number 1 if you're the Hawks?
I told you I'd have took Sarr and traded Capella. And just
I'm sure they tried to trade Capella. I don't think he's there because they didn't try to move him. I don't think there was a market for him. I mean, you heard about Memphis possibly wanting him, and then I think once they ended up with Edey, that was pretty much a wrap for that deal.
What's crazy is Edey's being used like Clint Capella is right now, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, he's found his rhythm as a
dump off guy. Yeah.
But no, I was just thinking about that last night. If Ryan Dunn showed this kind of confidence in his shooting in college, I think that he could have been the number 1 pick just because of his defense. But now I'm starting to wonder, like, all right, if he added shooting in such a short amount of time, and I know now people are saying, well, if you look at him, the shot wasn't broken. I mean, I think people are
man, it was broken.
The form didn't look bad.
But we know, right? Form isn't the form doesn't tell the whole story, man. We talking about shooting airballing
free throws. He, like you said, he looked like his screen was shaking when you play college football, when you play Madden and you on the road. I think that he may be able to show that he can add, maybe if he could just add a little bit off the dribble, not necessarily like shake and bake. I'm talking about teams are going to start closing out on him. 2 dribble floater, 2 dribble attack. I would have thought that would have been easier to add to his game than 44% shooting on 3. Now, I don't know if the numbers are sustainable, but
when you get a chance, Rob, search the workout video that he had, the preseason workout video that he had with KD and a couple other guys. I think it was just they have some training facility, and he was like handling the ball like crazy, like he had like legit boogie. I wonder if he got boxed in to Virginia basketball and it took everything from him except from his defense. And maybe had he gone somewhere else, you would see the shooting would have been different. You would see some shot creation because it looks like, again, I know that's a workout video and, everybody got sauce. I've seen Mitchell Robinson dominate, but
nobody has missed on a workout video. That's
true. But I'm saying
Ben
he was
Simmons
playing. Here's the thing. This isn't the workout video against guys our height. Like, this is against KD. Like, he had KD dancing, right? So I wonder if there is another level. He just is now like, I'm free. Like, maybe there is more to Ryan Dunn's game, and he's slowly peeling the layers back.
Yeah, and I think we could do an episode because I know there's a prospect Neoclis Abdalas. I feel like he has more game than he's able to show. His shooting percentages right now in Greece are absolutely terrible, but there's something about the physical tools and the eye test that stands out to me more than the numbers. But that's a whole different subject. All right, when we return, we're going to talk about another rookie, Jaylen Wells, who has definitely outperformed where he was drafted. Second round pick. He actually started last night for the Grizzlies. But before we get into Jaylen, we have to talk about FanDuel. Because right now, you can get ready to tackle the NFL and the NBA season with FanDuel, which is America's #1 sports book. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you want to check out the latest stats, you can view live play-by-play and so much more. And it is on the same page where you placed your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. And never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, Jaylen Wells, another guy that we've talked about pretty consistently. And I feel like with this series that we're doing on the rookies, if we're talking about you consistently, that means you are either playing really well or we are wondering why aren't you getting time? Or maybe if you're just playing really, really bad. But if you're playing really, really bad, we're not going to talk about you every episode because that would look like we're just piling on. But Jaylen Wells has been consistently mentioned in this episode. Got his first start, 16 points, 7 rebounds, was making threes. We talked about it before. The Grizzlies are going to have to find a way to get him on the floor. I didn't think it would be this soon, but they got him on the floor. And he made the most of his opportunity.
Raf, it's time. He should start for the rest of the season. I don't know how Grizzlies fans feel about it. He should start the rest of the season. Marcus Smart has been a negative player. Marcus Smart obviously is hurt too, but he is declining. I think he's shooting 17% from 3 right now.
He just looks so out of shape, though.
I looked it up. He's 30. Maybe it's time. Maybe he might be having his feet towards the sand. I don't know. But I think it's time to start Jaylen Wells going forward. I think you need to start him the rest of the season, even when Vince Williams comes back. I saw that they said that he's still a few weeks out. I think Jaylen Wells is the guy you should start.
That's an interesting take. And sometimes in the NBA, I think the right move doesn't always happen out of respect for a veteran. And I think with Marcus Smart, I know they're expecting a lot out of him as far as just kind of setting the tone on defense. But again, he just looks out of shape, doesn't appear to have that same spark or that motivation or that fire that he was known for playing with in Boston.
When he got traded, I think he lost. I'm not a psychoanalyst. I watch a lot of these TV shows, these drama shows about these guys solving these crimes. So I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. But I think him and Ime Udoka have the same thing where they feel left out.
But they're total opposite.
But it's the opposite.
Seems motivated.
Right. And you see, you starting to pick up what I'm putting down. One guy is motivated. One guy is decimated. Anyway, Jaylen Wells should start. He's making shots. He isn't just a corner boy. I mean, yes, all of his action is definitely off the corner. John Morant is making plays like crazy, and he's going to draw all kinds of traffic. And then when you got Edey out there finishing as a dunker, he's going to draw traffic. Jaylen Wells is getting wide open shots. Yeah. He's going to continue to make them. You chase him off the line. He has enough to either get to the basket. He's showing flashes of being able to make plays. I think that's your guy. You got to start going forward. Let's get ahead of this now. And I'm sorry, Marcus Smart, but hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, he's made 5 out of his last 11 threes, played 36 minutes yesterday. Again, I agree with your thought process behind it. I just don't know if they have the mindset to start 2 rookies on a team that is expected to at least, some people believe they could be a top 4 seed in the West.
Excuse me. Well, here's this. Edey's not going to finish games. He's not going to crack the 18-minute mark, it seems like, very often. And that's perfectly fine. So you can start 2 rookies, but you don't have to finish the game with 2 rookies. I think you can finish with him on the floor because he defends and he does knock down threes. He's definitely a threat. And he's not just somebody that just stands in the corner. Like he had 7 rebounds last night. Matter of fact, Rob, it's super early. It'll be 5 games into the season.
They played 6.
They played 6. He's exactly what they thought they were getting in Zaire Williams. And Zaire hooped against them last game, that home game for the Grizzlies. Zaire had 17 and 3.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. But Jaylen Wells is what they thought they were getting in Zaire Williams.
And I also think sometimes with a guy like Zaire Williams, he was young, had 1 year of college. Jaylen Wells has a couple more years of experience, and so he is more ready to contribute. Quick question before we get to Zach Edey. What did NBA teams miss on Jaylen Wells? Was it the fact that he didn't enter the season with the same buzz as other guys? Because it's the way it's looking like he should have been a lottery pick.
Well, a lot of this is opportunity, man. Like he ended up things we wouldn't be talking about Jaylen Wells, I don't think, had Gigi not gone down, had Vince Williams not gone down. Like opportunity opened up for him and he's taken full advantage of it. To me, it's no similar than, and I guess you can say they're the same, but like I think AJ Mitchell could be in a similar position if he were on a different team. But
he's also what I'm saying is he's also a little older. He's got more experience. He's ready to contribute right away.
But this was the draft of the older guys, though. So it's not like, I mean, again, Tristan da Silva he went what?
He's going to get an opportunity now, though. With Banchero out, he's probably going to get an opportunity.
That's true. It's opportunity means everything, man. You got to be ready for the opportunity, and the opportunity has to come. But you got to. It's like this makes perfect sense. Like my man Rob Dillingham. Every time I scroll on there, he's in the gym working out. He's right next to Mike Conley. He's under Mike Conley's when he's working out with Pablo Prigioni. Like he looks like somebody, and again, it just may be the coverage, but he looks like somebody that when my opportunity does come, I'm going to be ready. So opportunity is everything. Jaylen Wells has made use of his opportunity, and like I said, he should start the rest of the season, or at least get an opportunity to start, even when Marcus Smart comes back, because he's just been a better player than him right now. And what do you need from Marcus Smart if he's not making threes, right? We don't need another playmaker in the lineup because Ja's making plays. Desmond Bane can make plays. What are we doing? And real quick, Rob, what do we owe the veteran? Yes. What do we owe him? We didn't draft this guy. We traded for him last year. And he got hurt last year, I believe.
Yeah.
What do I owe you, dog? No disrespect to Marcus Smart, but what do I owe you?
It's just, it's just kind of like an unwritten rule. But real quick, Rob Dillingham, his opportunity might need to come sooner than later. Mike Conley's averaging 7 points a game, 4.5 assists, and he's shooting 22% from the floor. Mike Conley's shooting 22% from the floor, 27% from 3 on 5 attempts per game. Again,
you have to stay ready. It may look bleak, but opportunities come. Unfortunately, guys get hurt. Guys get washed in the middle of the season. I mean, it happens.
Yep. All right. When we return, we're going to talk about Zach Edey. All right. Before we get into the last segment, let's talk about Game Time. Game Time is my favorite app when it comes to purchasing tickets. And it's not just for sports. It's for concerts, comedy, theater, and more. What I love about the Game Time app is that it has all-in pricing. Just toggle the feature on the app and you will see the total up front. No surprise fees at checkout. Game Time also shows you a panoramic view of your seat from the actual venue, so you know exactly where you're going to be sitting and your view before you buy. Game Time has the lowest price guarantee. If you find something cheaper, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time also has the best and the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download Game Time. Use the code Locked On NBA for $20 off your first purchase. Again, that's LOCKEDON NBA for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. All right, last segment. Talk about Zach Edey. Zach Edey had 10 points, 8 rebounds, and a block. Played 24 minutes versus the Bucks. What did you think about Edey's performance?
I have him down at 27% in the post. He just looks like a dump off guy, and there's no shame in it. But somebody that you drafted that dominated in the post. I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of interesting to see. I'm not like trying to clown him or anything or saying that the pick was bad because he's been productive. He's shooting like 60%. But everything that you're getting from him is all dump offs. I don't think he's blocking any shots. Rebounding is okay. Defense has been okay. But yeah, I don't know if the weight loss, like you had mentioned in the last podcast we did talking about him, where he couldn't move Bobby Portis last night. Again, Bobby Portis isn't skinny. Bobby Portis is a dog. So even if he isn't strong enough, he's going, he's Bobby Portis. But he couldn't move Bobby Portis last night. And the night before that, he couldn't really move Ben Simmons like that. So I don't know, man. It's just interesting to see the change. I guess some people say that they're using him incorrectly, but whatever it is, he's not scoring in the post like he thought he would.
And actually, you're right. The 40% included the preseason. But in the regular season, you're right. He is only 3 out of 11 on post-ups. He's shooting 78% on cuts and 71% as the roll man. I think there's 2 things that have impacted him as far as being a post-up threat. Number one, I think the weight loss has probably impacted his strength a little bit. He's not getting the ball in those sweet spots. I feel like he's just getting pushed right outside of his sweet spots and he's missing them. I think he's going to be fine with that. But he has been impactful as a play finisher. And he looks like he's got a little chemistry with Ja Morant as a lob threat.
Yeah, I mean, his playmaking is looking great right now. And he's drawing too. And like you said, he is catching lobs. I have Edey down for 1 block in 5 games. 7-4, and you're not blocking shots. Now, I think the positional defense has been good. Edey's okay, man. It may be nitpicking, but I just don't, I thought he was going to get the ball. I wouldn't necessarily say dominate the post, but I thought he was going to get his looks in the post like he did in the preseason. But it just goes to show preseason and the NBA aren't the same thing.
I still think that he's going to be fine. I think those misses are going to turn into makes down the line. I still think he's trying to figure things out, but he is going to find a way to score and get double figures without the post-ups.
Yeah.
And then once I think he starts getting the post-ups to go, or maybe he needs to just duck in a little harder to get like better low post position. The way I look at how they should use Edey is use him as a roll man, but use him as like a duck in guy. So maybe someone sets the screen for him. He comes from the opposite block and then he just gets the ball. I mean, of course it's a quick hitter, but I think you get him with a low seal, then I think he's going to be fine. But also the game where he dominated the Pacers in the preseason, they weren't doubling him. They were letting him get 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get that at all.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get that. All right, let's talk about one of the surprises of the night. Kyle Filipowski. Talk about making the most of your opportunity. You got to give Kyle a round of applause. He went from D&P CDs to starting, and he looked good. I mean, this is his second game. We didn't do an episode after the first game, but he's looked good. He's looked like their best rookie.
He looked like what you wanted to see from him at Duke. He's spacing the floor, pushing the ball on rebounds. He's rebounding.
He looks slimmer. Do you think he looks slimmer? He looks slimmer to me.
He does look slimmer, but I think NBA spacing helps him out too. But I think he had a play where DeRozan was guarding him. He took DeRozan to the basket. Like, Filipowski looks good. I wasn't as high on Filipowski. I'll be the first one to admit it, and I'll be the first one to tell you he was hooping. And that's 2 good games in a row for him. Like we just mentioned with Jaylen Wells, it's about opportunity, and he's making the most of his opportunity. It looks like Lowry already went down with that that tanking injury. So yeah, with Lowry, going down with that injury, it looks like he's going to have every opportunity to continue to build on the success that he has had. So shout out to Kyle Filipowski.
Again, it's all about making the most of your opportunity. Filipowski has. And here's the thing about the NBA that is tricky to me. In some cases, not all cases are the same. Filipowski is going to have to play well to keep getting minutes. He's going to have to make the most of his opportunities. While on the flip side, I feel like Cody Williams is going to keep getting opportunities to play well. Cody... I don't want to turn this into bashing Cody. Cody had 2 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, but he was 0 of 6 from the floor, and 5 of his 6 shots were threes. But here's the thing about Cody that makes it weird to say because of Ryan Dunn. I put it like that. If Ryan Dunn wasn't hooping, I would say, hey, man, why would you as a non-shooter, even though the shooting percentages in college looked good, I wasn't a believer in how efficient he was from 3 in college because he was not a good shooter prior to that. But I did believe, okay, maybe he turned the corner. Well, he is shooting 17% from 3 this season, but 75% of his shots are threes. And my knock on Cody is be aggressive, be assertive, get downhill. He's just too cool for school.
That doesn't surprise me that he's shooting that many threes, though, because, like, he doesn't have the strength. He didn't have the creativity to really put the ball on the ground. At least I don't think at a high level. I will say this. This is his second game with 0 field goals made this season. And this isn't him not playing minutes. This is him playing 19 minutes or more. That's twice that he's gone without a field goal made. The first game, he didn't even take a shot. I don't know how that happens, but he's only made 5 field goals in 5 games.
Yeah.
And like he's going to get every opportunity.
3 came against the Kings a couple nights ago. He's had a 0 for 6 game, 1 for 5 game, 1 for 6 game, and a 19-minute 0 shot attempt game. But because of where he was drafted,
yes,
he is going to get the opportunities to play well. Filipowski, who a lot of people thought was a lottery pick at this time last year. I wasn't the biggest Filipowski guy. I was actually surprised that he fell outside of the first round. I don't know how much of it had to do with all the rumors, about the family around draft time. And then he just looked absolutely awful in his last college game against NC State. But I give him credit. He's come in. He's been aggressive. He's finding ways to score. The first play of the game last night, he started off in the deep corner. I don't know if it was an action play for him, but he came off like a curl. And he turned it into a post up. And he was matched up against Harrison Barnes, and he posted up. He's getting points running the floor.
Playing the 4 too, Rob.
He's playing the 4, which I think that I thought he should have been a 5. I don't know if he's always was kind of tricky for me because I felt like I put it like this. I felt like his best position in the NBA is as a 5. I thought him and Lively, that mix together at Duke, wasn't the best because they were both 5s. I thought he could be a weapon where if he's knocking down shots, he's skilled enough to, create some mismatches at the 5. Well, he's playing the 4. And I think Will Hardy's a good coach. The Jazz record is what it is, but I think he's a good coach. And I think that he's in a tough situation because he wants to win, but it just doesn't make sense for Utah to win, especially with, if they continue to stink, you can get lucky and get you a Ace Bailey or a Cooper Flag or VJ Edgecombe. And if you don't get him next year, then maybe you're lucky in 26 and you can get AJ Debanza, who looks like some people are saying that they think he's going to go to BYU. That would be crazy if he goes to Utah Prep to BYU. And if that's the case, if you're the Jazz, you have to put yourself in position to get AJ. If you don't get AJ, then you might get, the Boozer twin who has ties to Utah. But anyway, with that being said, I think that so far the Jazz have done a good job of using Filipowski's skill set, but also I'm giving him the credit because he is finding ways to score without them running plays for him. He's like, there's one play where he attacked the closeout on Zach Collins at the top of the key. He scored. I think that's a testament to spacing, like you mentioned. And then he had a trailer three, but he's like getting the rebound, pushing the break.
Yeah.
He's scoring in transition. He is being active. And
see, I was mentioning pre-draft that if everything worked out for him, he could be like a Naz Reid type where you're a mismatch off the bench because you can shoot, pass, and dribble. And he looks like that. And I say that, and it's kind of strange because I'm a big Naz Reid fan. Off record, I told you, like, yo, Naz Reid is cold. He ended up going undrafted, and now he's like sixth man of the year. But I wasn't as high on Filipowski because it just wasn't like consistent to what I saw. But
for me, it was toughness. I didn't think Filipowski had the consistent toughness, and that lack of toughness when guys are physical with him was on full display in the NC State game.
And
talent-wise, I mean, he's talented.
And I remember Missy just shut all of that stuff down too. And it was a lot of it was just, I'm going to be more physical than you. I'm shutting your water off. No, you're not getting anything against me. But shout out to Kyle Filipowski.
Yep. All right, Stephon Castle
missed 2 pull-up jumpers. He did make a 3-pointer at the end of the night. It was definitely, again, we mentioned before, there's no such thing as garbage minutes, but it was less than like 30 seconds left in the game. He did make a 3 off the dribble. Jump shot, man. Game is hard when you can't make jump shots, even if you are super talented like Stephon Castle. But they find ways to play him. He's going to play 18 minutes tonight. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like when Vassell comes back, but he's got to find his rhythm as a shooter because the Spurs it's still early, so they're definitely in we think we can win games and at the same time, but we need the rookie to make shots, and he's not making shots, so he has to be better.
Yep, definitely has to be better. All right, last play that I want to talk about. I was at the Mavericks game last night. I didn't stay for the whole game. Reed Sheppard is just still struggling to find minutes. And it's interesting to me about this Reed Sheppard situation is he only played 5 minutes. He was 1 of 1 from the floor. Udoka loves Fred VanVleet, who was 2 of 13 from the floor last night. And VanVleet is shooting 30% from the floor, 31% from three. He's averaging 6 assists a game and 12.6 points. But I'm curious, like, can you scale down some of VanVleet's minutes and then let Reed get some? Because VanVleet is averaging 37 minutes per game.
Right.
He's only 5 games in.
Right. What we said about Marcus Smart applies to Fred VanVleet in a good way. I'm not saying Fred is washed. I'm saying that loyalty, that I'm riding with the veteran, that's what Udoka is going to do with Fred VanVleet. And Fred wasn't efficient last year. Listen, I'm a big Fred VanVleet fan, but he wasn't efficient last year, and he played, I think he was one of the league leaders in minutes played last year too. Udoka's trying to win games, and he's playing Fred 37 minutes. But that's what the Rockets want to win now, man.
All right. Last thing, rookie of the night. I'm going with Ryan Dunn. Even though this is like the first night where I feel like you could have had multiple winners. I think in other nights you would have said Jaylen Wells, Filipowski scoring. I mean, we had rookies struggle to score double figures in the first week. So this is the first time that I can recall where there was like 4 rookies that scored 10 points or more, especially considering it wasn't like a full 11-game slate. But Ryan Dunn is my choice for rookie of the night.
I'm going to go with Kyle Filipowski, man. He surprised me. This is me beating the hater allegations. I'm going Ryan. I'm going Kyle Filipowski, rookie of the night, doing good things. I mean, normally you would say Ryan Dunn because he's playing for a better team and he's surprising you. But at this point, I'm not even surprised Ryan Dunn making 3-pointers. I expect it. If he goes full Steph Curry shimmy next game, I'm like, hey man, do what you got to do, dog.
I'm disappointed. You just made that choice to try to beat the hater allegations.
Man,
Ryan Dunn had more points on a team that won. Filipowski's team almost lost by 20 points.
Hey man, listen.
Well, that wraps up this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast. Once again, thank you for making this your first listen of the day. Now check out the Locked On newsletter. Your favorite team delivered to your inbox every single day. Once again, it's Rafael and James, and we are out of here.